Paul Singer is a foodie and a lover of fine dining, wine, healthy food, and nutrition. He is an independent business owner, and his goal, and this is a great thing, is to help others reach their full potential in life. And today we're going to talk to Paul about gourmet eating for less. Thanks so much for joining us, Paul.
I'm glad to be here, Ravina.
Paul, this is something I think about all the time. What exactly is gourmet food?
Well, I see it as fine eating, Ravina. As opposed to ordinary everyday food, with a bit of thought that you put into the restaurant you choose and a bit of thought to the food you buy in the store, you can definitely do gourmet dining or have gourmet food, on a budget as well.
So what you're telling me is that gourmet food doesn't mean you got to spend big amounts of money. You don't have to spend the big cash. I can actually get gourmet food for less?
I think so, with a bit of deliberate thinking. I think that's the key.
And what's an example of a gourmet food that people think is really expensive and out of their reach that maybe they could afford to buy if they just kind of did what you said, organize a little bit and did some deliberate thinking?
Chicken, for example, in the meat department, and even fish, is fairly affordable. Then with vegetables, you're wide open. Fruit and vegetables, wide open to save money and make it in a gourmet way. Gourmet food to some degree is fresh food, certainly, and healthy food and attractive looking food. But then it's more all about the presentation and the sauces and the seasonings and the beautiful recipes that you can come up with. You can come up with some absolutely gorgeous food.
And Paul, what are some of the places that you go to shop for gourmet food for less? Some places that you might recommend people, maybe even today, if they want to make something tonight for dinner that's gourmet, that they could get some of those great prices and get some great food right, in their own neighborhoods.
So I'm going to recommend farmers markets, and in some areas you can go all year round. But usually, especially, from spring, summer, and fall, you can get, mostly local food, and that's fantastic. The other thing would be local food markets, these little things, little places, and usually they're ethnic, Eastern European or Indian or, some of those types of ethnic background. Fantastic deals to be had for gourmet food. And I would characterize gourmet food, the best way to save money with gourmet food is to buy food in as close to its natural state as possible.
And Paul, is there someone who's watching right now, a gourmet meal that you could recommend that someone could make tonight and it wouldn't break their budget and they could feed maybe their family of 4 or 5 and feel really good about not only what they're prepared, but what they're eating and that the fact that it is something a little bit extra special?
A beautiful little meal is pureed spinach, steamed potatoes, skin on, white asparagus, and then for dessert, stewed pears or peaches.
And I think it's a really good idea if you have a couple of different recipes, like so for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, what you're going to make. So if chicken is on sale, then you buy a little bit more because you know you're going to be using it on Wednesday as well. Like sort of that kind of really having a plan and being organized. I think that's the number one way to save money and still eat really, really well.
Hey, you and I can save a lot of money if we compare notes like that more often.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us today and giving us all those great tips on how to eat gourmet for less and really making it known that it is possible for anybody tonight to go out there, have a great meal, a nutritious meal that looks great on the plate and that doesn't break the bank.
And try building it up a little bit. These days, in the fancy restaurants, it's all about tall. It's about visual appeal, and it's tall. They build it up. Build a little tower. Make it look cute.
Yeah, I've seen that. They kind of put the vegetables on the bottom, and then the meat, and then something else. It kind of becomes a bit of it's like an art piece at the end when you look at it.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much, Paul.